the treat? You mean the threat? Was that supposed to be the word threat? Or the word, like, what? I'm confused. So the world that we're looking at, this is the world that is public, that you can go and download in the exclamation point Dayfort's document. This world is a world that we've built several forts in now. There's a volcano up there. Maybe we should do something on that volcano. Anyway, this is a world that we've built several forts in. Most of them are behind my camera, or one of them is. But we've got this one. This one. This one, and a few others scattered around throughout the world. There's one over here somewhere. I can't remember which one it was exactly. Oh, actually, I want to say it was that one. But that one got murdered. That one got murdered. That was our very unfortunate fort that we did. Yeah, we've done a number of forts in this world. Maybe we should reclaim the Spartan fort. That could be a fun thing to do today, actually. That could be a fun thing to do. So yeah, if you would like to download this world and mess about with it, you absolutely can. And we're going to be reading some legends about this world. Because up until now, the only person who's put anything into the legends section of the document is Stone. And then one other person wrote a few short stories. So I'm going to do the job that you guys were supposed to do and read some legends. Also, I read that as the Empires of Music, and I'm kind of disappointed it's not the Empires of Music. Empires of Musil. I think that's how you pronounce that. One thing to note about this world is right here, or in this general vicinity, there is a dragon. A dragon lives there. So, I think that a good place to start is probably the Slabalgus? Slabalgus. I wonder if they like slabs. Or if they're just kobolds, so they have weird names. The best place for us to start here is probably one of the dwarven settlements. Hey, animal, we lost you. The Lost Animal is an elven civilization of the Enchanted Planets. And that's how Animal was lost. The Lark of Meditation. The Intense Confederations. That sounds like a human group. The Waxy Hall. That's one of the dwarven groups. There's a number of dwarven civilizations in this world. There's a lot of kobold civilizations in this world. The Last Leaf. That's definitely. The Hatred of Nuts. Yes, I found this one before, which is definitely a goblin civilization. In the Time Before Time. The Eggplant Fiend. Okay, I need to learn a little bit about this.
See how he bites off the shell to get at the nut?
The Eggplant Fiend Ogez. Rumor obscured. The godforsaken Hate became the master of the Hatred of Nuts. Yep. It's just their hair color. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if it's just their hair color. I like their names. The Nightmare of Dirt of the Hatred of Nuts founded Thief Leak. You know, okay, I want to look up this Eggplant Fiend. I'm going to read about this. I feel like Stone has talked about the Eggplant Fiend a few times. But, wait, what was his name? Ogez Rumored Obscure. Rumored Obscure. There we go. She was the only one of her kind, a towering civet, twisted into humanoid form. Those look like I feel like I've read this before actually, if I'm not mistaken. Eggplant hair is unkept. Yeah, there you go. So it's got like that's a Civet if memory serves. Yes, memory does serve. Yeah. Deadly blood, unkept hair. The time before time, Oges thrust a spire slid up from the underworld, naming it the mysterious occult fortress, and established a gateway between worlds in Thiefleak. Spooky. All right, let's read about some of the dwarven civs. The goblin ones are always a little samey in my experience. The Gloved Helm, that's a dwarven group, right? The Gloved Helm was a dwarven civilization of the Enchanted planets. Let me just check something real quick. I don't believe I actually screenshotted what civ we were in last time. But I do have some dwarves that I need to look up. I'm just going to quickly make me a new Google Doc. Hey, mind, how we doing? Just so I can write this stuff down if I find cool stuff that Stone hasn't found yet. I would like to find Stackhood Chance Tools. Yo, sizzle taxes. In the late spring of year 4, the dragon sizzle taxes became the silvery. The sizzle taxes, the silvery, that's a hard sentence to say, became the enemy of the Gloved Helm. I wonder why. What exactly did the dragon sizzle taxes, the silvery, not the slavery, do become them? I feel that, mind. I feel that. Chance tools. Died in year 63. Stackhood Chance Tools was one of the first of his kind, became the Baron of the Gloved Helm, became lovers with Stackhood, fought in the ferocious assault on Dungeon Squeezed, fought in the strifeful clash in the elevated hills. Definitely a warrior baron. Was a warrior baron from, and so was in a relationship with Sodil Most Mountains, Most Mountains, and was battling until 54. Became friends with Fath Ochurkru, who, as Stone pointed out, was an elf. Amidst the horror of combat, I mean, they were probably allied with an elven faction and probably going to war together. I bet you there was probably like digging too deeply or greedily or some sort of like demon activity, so they probably became friends. Yeah, definitely. They cemented a bond with friendship during the horror of combat with another elf later. I wonder if that's why Sodel Most Mountains broke up with them. It's like they were associating too much with elves. Maybe they didn't like that fact. Many more sieges. The Roasted Siege on Diamond Furnace. Diamond Furnace, that's a good name. Fought in the Strifeful Attack on Diamond Furnace? What the heck happened at Diamond Furnace? 3 separate sieges this dwarf fought in. Many sieges. Actually, what the heck's going on at Diamond Furnace? Was eventually struck down in the year 63 by the Forgotten Beast. Oh, really? Damstow? Wow. Okay, hold on a second. I got a few things I got to screenshot for this. The Perilous Tale. Of Stackhood. You can just screenshot these pretty easily. Man, this person, this dwarf had many friends as elves. It's kind of neat, actually. I really want to know what happened at Diamond Furnace. That's my big question out of this. Is what happened at Diamond Furnace? Why was there so much combat going on at Diamond Furnace? But did end up getting married actually to Toulon in 61. So amidst all of the combat and destruction, still was able to not settle down, but definitely got married. And has a son, Athel Cloutlancers, who is dead, as well as his second eldest daughter who died. Eldest daughter, like his entire family is dead. That must have been quite the Forgotten Beast attack. Just let me share this and I will link it in the document. Okay, so anybody with the link can view. And then I'm just going to go down here and go Baron Stackgood. Let me know if you guys can open that and how the formatting is. Oh, crap. I lost chat. Where did it go? Chat, I lost you guys. There we go. Got you back. So what the hell happened at Diamond Furnace? That's my next thing to look up. Not civs. Sites? Not sites. Why am I like blanking on which one is towns? It's not regions. It's not underground regions. It's sites, right? There it is. Diamond Furnace. It's a fort. Diamond Furnace was a fort. In 51, the Tusk of Trances constructed Diamond Furnace. A couple dwarves settled there. The Last Leaf, which was an elven civilization, attacked the Tusk of Trances at Diamond Furnace. The elf Cherishi Shodor led the attack, and the defenders were led by the dwarf Inual Splattered Vaults. A lot of blood, it seems like. Oh. Oh my. Seems like they were just invaded on repeat. Should also hit the right button. Seems like they were just invaded on repeat until the Wraith of Yearlings attacked the Tusk of Trances at Diamond Furnace. The dwarf Stinthad, Lester Whips led the attack, and the Yearlings defeated the Tusk of Trances and razed the Temple of Crystals in Diamond Furnace. The Union's Directing attacked the Tusk of Trances. So they're getting like beaten back, and some of their monuments are being destroyed. The Unions of Directing attacked the Tusk of Trances at Diamond Furnace. And the human Samir Lockpleats led the attack, and the sieges of Satin were hired by the attackers. Is this another Menestubs? Is that what's going on here? Because that's what this looks like. I'm just going to skip down to the bottom. Because I'm seeing a lot of echoes of this. Tusk of Trance is always defending this. Who are the Tusk of Trances? But at the very end, the Dwarven civilization, the Gloved Helm, attacked the Tusk of Trances at Diamond Furnace. The Dwarf Inul, Cobalt Net, led the attack, and the defenders were led by the Elf Stukos. By the Elf Stukos? Shock Sword? That is not an elven name. The Sieges of Satin were hired by the attackers. The Elf Stukos Shock Sword was struck down by the Dwarf Toulon, Rock Passage, and Diamond Furnace. Bunger. Bunger, bunger. Bunger, 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 bunger. Yes, this is the Dayfort world. I'm looking for stories to put into the Dayfort doc. The Gloved Helm defeated the Tusks of Trances and pillaged Diamond Furnace. I'd like to know how many died here. And then it looks like over the next few hundred years, a few people settled here. It's a hell of a battle. How we doing, Squug? It's good to see you. Hope you've been well. Yeah, the Gloved Helm was the faction that we... I think that was the last faction we were part of. I think one of my squares fell. Cyrilic, what's up? It's good to see you. Might need some more adhesive on those ones. That's kind of crazy. It's always like these little forts that have these big long attacks. New Dark Rim? No, I've literally just I'm standing. That's the only difference. I'm in the exact same spot. I rewired my computer so I could stand and added one more row of black to the top. That's all that's different. Nothing is new. I'm literally just standing. Because I have this standing desk, might as well use it. Chat, do you guys think that this is worth archiving in the dock? Diamond Furnace? Doran Svesh? Some Flex Seal? That's not how you hold up that stuff. Sound foam. It's because they can't oust the attacker. I mean, they fought for, what, 40 years? Yeah, they weren't defeated until the year 90. But the attack started in 55. Can someone look up who the Tusk of Trances were? Actually, here, I'll just do that. Was a dwarven mercenary order from the Enchanted Planets, devoted to the worship of Bur and dedicated to the mastery of battle, axe, and the spear. Yeah, I'm going to definitely archive this. Let me pop up another doc. I'm going to name this doc The Fall of the Tusk. Because the dwarf Inul Splattered Vaults became the warmth of the commander of Tusks in the year 46. In the year 46, this dwarf became the commander of this faction. I mean, they definitely must have mastered their craft because, like, it took a long time for them to be fought back. But, like, they were a dwarven mercenary order. They were also fighting with dwarves. Like, one of the main, the faction that ends up defeating them in the end is a dwarven faction. Yeah, clearly they didn't have enough battle axe and spear. Battle axe and spear. 3 separate things. Also, how you doing today, monkeys? It's good to see you. I will be doing a Dayfort today. We're just starting off with this because I feel like I owe you guys a little bit extra today because, well, you know, I missed yesterday. So yeah, looks like they started off just as like a mercenary crew getting hired off, doing the odd hired job. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Just pretty standard dwarfy mercenary things. Yeah, and then in the late summer of 51, they constructed a fort called Diamond Furnace. And they constructed the Temple of Crystals. Whatever that was. I'd like to know what the Temple of Crystals was, if somebody wants to look that up. Buffet Shellret. That's as good as they can be. I'm doing okay, overall, I would say. I'm doing okay. A little bit tired. If they burn diamonds in their furnace, I mean, it's much more effective than coal. You know, the amount of heat that you need to burn diamonds, man, if you could make a furnace that could burn a diamond and, like, be powered by burning diamonds, imagine how hot that would need to be. One hell of a furnace. Yeah, and then it looks like almost immediately they constructed the diamond furnace in the late summer of 51, and they were attacked in the early summer of 52 by the unions of directing. The sorceress sheen, the elevated hills, the human smear, lockpicks attacked. The South Korean fusion reactor to burn a diamond. Dwarves have South Korean fusion reactors, apparently. How are we doing today, audio? It's good to see you. And Vin, hello. You found the underworld breach that unleashed upon the world with a one-eyed monster Nutgrave? Reading through right now. If you find it, screenshot them and make little screenshot docs like the one that I did and drop the links into the chat so I can archive them or go through them. All right, so Tusk of Trances. Diamond Furnace. I like Diamond Styles. Diamond Styles sounds like man, Diamond Styles sounds like the name of like a 70s comedian. It's like, I'm Diamond Styles. It's like an Eddie Murphy style comedian. As you would regular coal. I feel like you need a pretty hot furnace though, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway. Open diamond style. Open diamond styles. Exactly. Exactly. It's right. It's the dwarven hit that came right before Gangnam Style. Not to be confused with Adamantine Style. Man, it's weird being able to stand again on stream after so long. God damn it. Urbiger, you're like proving me sad now. Also, did you change your name or am I crazy, Urbiger? I feel like there's like an extra E in there now, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so in the summer of 51. Nope. Okay, well, hello. It's good to see you. Just uses a propane torch. No, I'm not familiar with Nile Red. Still pretty hot, okay? Damn it. Where can you find a link to this world? Exclamation point Dayfort. And then scroll to the right. So I've got a few screenshots in here, right there. I will link this one once it's ready. Does chemistry? Gotcha. I've been watching more, like, well, actually I've been watching a lot of like synthesizer YouTube channels recently, but the Gear of Wood attacked the Tusk of Trances. I'm looking for interesting sounding attacks where things are destroyed. I'll just grab a few of these. Just to kind of give an idea in the frequency of these attacks. I'm looking for the one where the thing was destroyed. The thing, very descriptive here. The thing they built. The question is, Hobo, how many days until our first Ahoy video of 2021? That's my current wonder. Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of the gloved helm, a lot of the unions of directing, which is a human civ, a lot of the iron of hushing. I'm not familiar with the iron of hushing. And then the elves from the last leaf. The Sieges of Saturn. I feel like I've seen that name before. Sieges of Saturn were hired in the defense, or were hired by the attackers, rather. So, like, the Dwarven forces are needing to bring military defenses. Until our first Ahoy video of 2021. Driver's 61? Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of stuff about modular synthesizers. There's a lot of like straight up courses on YouTube like done by industry professionals. Can I just say that Murdered Ceiling is a really good name? The dwarf Imush Murdered Ceiling led the attack, again as part of the Iron of Hushing against the Tusk of Trances in the year 66. The unions of directing attacked the Tusk of Trances. Yeah, if you put a space, it won't work. I don't know why you did it correctly the first time, Manufacturing Monkeys, and then wrong the second time. The Whisper Bells, the periwinkle of steam, received its name in Diamond Furnace from the elf Mina Azure Empire after defeating the elf Lycott Firepost. That must be the name of their weapon that they used. It's a really silly name, so I'm gonna grab that. in the year 67. Also, I haven't said this enough yet today, so chat room, thank you everybody for tuning in. And thanks everyone for hanging out and messing around and helping out with this world and all of this lore building that we've been doing. Well, all the lore building I've been doing, and you guys have been hanging around for it. The Iron of Hushing attacked the Tusk of Trances at Diamond Furnace. The Dwarf Cogsack Organ Labored. Ugh. Fence Jaws, that's a scary last name. The Gear of Wood attacked the Tusk of Trances. The Dwarf of Dodic Tombs routed led the attack. The defenders were led by the dwarf Yushat Attic Perplex. The Sieges of Satin were hired by the attackers. The Savagery of Pregnancy, that's the hell of a name of a mercenary crew. Should throw Ahoy a buck on Patreon. I should too. Hello, Wormbo. Doing a little bit of Legends. Digging into Legends. What was the actual part? The Sorceress Sheen. That's such a good name. The Sorceress Sheen attacked the Tusk of Trances and pillaged Diamond Furnace. They start losing fights in 71. What have we found so far? I'm currently like looking at this battle that happened at a place called Diamond Furnace by a dwarven group, or that was owned by a dwarven mercenary crew devoted to the mastery of weapons. They clearly weren't devoted enough because they didn't win. You acquired a ghost. You went and, what, subscribed to somebody who happened to have a ghost emote? Stukos Shock Sword. It's such a good name. I want to know how an elf gets the name Stukos Shock Sword. That's something we're going to need to look up. And it was in the early spring of year 90. All right, I'm going to share this doc. Well, I'm going to add it to the Legends section now. Anyone with link can view. Copy link. All right, it's there now. Go make me a new doc. I have too many tabs open. Elf did shocking damage with a wooden sword. I mean, it's possible. Stukos is a dwarven name too. So I'm gonna look up Stukos Shock Sword. Stukos. Yeah, see? It's a female elf named Stukos Shocksword, when everybody else is a dwarf. Was an elf. She was one of the first of her kind. She became, and in the year 89, she became the treasurer of the Tusk of Trances. And the gloved helm attacked the Tusk of Trances at Diamond Furnace. And Burr, if I'm not mistaken, is a dwarven god. So she was part of the Tusk of Trances, which is the crew that built Diamond Furnace. Damn, that's a born before, like, how the heck does that happen? She was one of the first of her kind, and she has a dwarven name. Unless she was, like, assuming the identity, but we'd see that here. How the heck does that happen? How the heck do you go from being a nobody, first of your kind elf to having a dwarven name and being the treasurer of a dwarven group? After becoming a noble? I'll have to look that up. The Dayfort was done already? No. We haven't started that yet. Yeah, no, she would have had to join. She was probably conquered? Maybe? Because she became the treasurer of the Tusk of Trances the year before they got conquered. The Tusk of Trances were a dwarven group that we were just reading about. Dwarf formed tall, not her fault. Tall with pointy ears and a desire to protect nature at all costs, I think. But yes, I can definitely check in on Wormbow. I'm just kind of like deep in this pit. Also, if you'd like to read other stories within the legends, these are all stories that have been written. They're down in the Legends tab of this document. Can be, if you want to download the world to play along, grab the world save right there. The most recent one is World Save 7, which is from before last week because I forgot to update it, but I will update it again after tonight. Or after today, rather. I mean, when it comes to the stories for this, it has to be like related to this world. If you want it added to that doc specifically. So if it's from this world, then cool. If not, then you can post it in chat, but I won't add it to the doc. So after Wormbow settled in Warpath multiple times, many times, in fact, in the early midwinter, late winter, you settled. Apparently, so you settled in Warpath, became a member of the Immortal Rage, became a militia captain of the Immortal Rage, fought in the assault of sieging, an assault on Hategut, and then the fall of Galleys, led by Wormbow, clashed with a single goblin in Hategut. So you did fight with a goblin. You settled in Warpath again. Then the secret composition was stolen from Line Seduced by Wormbow. So you were holding some sort of item when you left. You settled in Warpath the whole times. Wormbow fought in the Siege of Clashing and the assault of Demon Sweat. The full galleys, poorly led by Wormbow, clashed with 21 trolls and in Demon Sweat, slaying 9. You became the outpost liaison of the Granite Urn, and settled in Warpath again after several other groups. The Immortal Rage expelled Wormbow from Warpath, and you became the diplomat of the Granite Urn and settled in Sword Guild. And then a year later, you settled in Fortress Urns. What, is that how an elf could become? But elves that are born before time are generally adults already. So, doubtful? I don't know. It's a weird one. That's all I can really say is it's weird. Yeah, so you were the outpost liaison very briefly. But yeah, that's Wormbow. Does anybody else have dwarves that they would like me to look up that were from previous forts? Or no, that's not what I wanted. Warpath, this was our previous fort. The Fiery Hex defeated the Immortal Rage. Who led the attack? The Drake Cole, Sealing Gravels, bled to death, slain by the Dwarf. Astruck Terror Race with a silver arrow from the Iron Bow in Warpath. Who actually led the attack? God damn. I need to get to the top of all this. When was the actual invasion? I want to know who led it so I could go look up the history of the first person to attack them. A hamster man becomes lord, just Dwarf Fortress things? Demon Vault struck down Bastet. Damn. This fort just got ravaged. They came back single file and just walked in and died. Let's look up what happened to Redbeard. Settle in Warpath. Fortress Urns. Let's look up Fortress Urns. Because they both went and settled in Fortress Urns. Also, if anybody wants to point me in the direction of something interesting that you found in this world, give me a shout. The Granite Urn founded Fortress Urns. Seems like a pretty nice place, aside from the fact that they're getting... I'm like, seems like a pretty nice place. The first thing I see. The Forgotten Beast, Stystek Confused Soaked, attacked them real bad early on. Stystek Confused Soaked. Stystek Confused Soaked was, I keep wanting to say stroked. Soaked was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind. A great theropod with lidless eyes. It has two stubby tails and it undulates rhythmically. Beware its deadly spittle. It was associated with water theft in caverns. Is it stealing water from the caverns? DXXX is the date of death, yes. Or the year of death. Okay. Devoured a bull of the lined standard. What's that? On the year 7, Stestrek devoured a bull of the lined standard. And then a drake of the lined standard. What does it mean by of the lined standard? The hell? Although the last thing this creature did was it devoured a cat. Yeah, it must be the name of the local government, maybe? Yeah, the line standard is a related entity, so it must be the local government. You're eating Chinese? Well, you eat all of those Chinese foods. So still wandering the depths of this world, basically just this creature attacked this one fortress once and then just fucked off. All right. What was the name of that fortress? Fortress Urns. Many wrestling competitions of the Granite Urn. Okay, so there is a named dingo, Dawn Channel. Dang Dawn Channel, a male dingo. It settled in the swamp of Esteeming, became an enemy of the line standard, became an enemy of the Granite Urn, attacked the dwarf Unib Inkloct. The dwarf Unib Inkloct's lower front tooth was tore off by Dang. In the year 19, the dwarf Unib Inkloct managed to escape from Dang's onslaught. Dang attacked the dwarf Olin. Dang struck down the dwarf Olin, construct fenced in Fortress Urns. Dang devoured the dwarf
Encrypt blank.
Olin, construct fence in Fortress Urns. And then Dang died of old age. Shoutouts to this fucking dingo right here. Cutest. Thanks for the 100 bits. Cheers. Thanks for the first new money of the day. We got a resub earlier, but the first bits of the day. Thank you. January is very weird. It's like, but behind the scenes, for a second here, ad revenue is terrible in January, so YouTube ad revenue is down. It's still fine, but it's down. Twitch ad revenue basically doesn't exist in January, although I wish it wouldn't anyway. And then everybody's broke because the holidays are over. And so it's like, most days in January, it's like, oh, I made $8 in revenue. Yay! So every little bit helps. Cheers, guys. But then again, usually December is pretty good for revenue. So it's just kind of like, all right, time to survive January. Well, shout outs to this, shout outs to this dingo who did nothing but kill a baby. Killed Olin Construct Fenced, who was born in the year 18 and died in the year 19. Probably lived off of vermin the rest of its life, but managed to kill a baby dwarf. Dang Dawn Channel. The dingo. Dingoes ate my baby. That's a thing, right? Oh, wait, someone was abducted. Libash Trumpet Thunder was abducted from the fortress urns by the goblin Atu spidery crazies. What happened to Libash Trumpet Thunder? Libash Trumpet Thunder was born in the year 9. She was the eldest daughter of Cyberic Lashgulf and Zephin Atiknets. Libash and Rith became childhood friends. Dusum and Libash became childhood friends, had many friends. But in the year 20, at the age of what, like 11? Was abducted from fortress urns by the goblin Atu, spidery crazies, and imprisoned by the nightmare of dirt, and settled in Thief League. I've seen that one before. She became a member of the Nightmare of Dirt in the year 20. Not very long. And became a fish dissector. Oh, how horrible. in Thief League in the year 21. Murdered the goblin Shimetsu Risen Nightmare. Risen Nightmare in Thief League. In 38, fought in the attack of volcanoes on the assault of Obeyed Whipped. Is your new Australian punk band? I mean, if it isn't, it should be. Also, I like the fact that you're not Australian, so it would be your Australian-themed, not Australian punk band? Oh, wait, no, is a new Australian punk band, not is my new? Okay, fair. Although I like the idea of, like, animals singing in a fake Australian accent. Well, that sucks. Stone. Man, Libash fought in the attack of volcanoes. Yushir Handel Theater's right lower leg was ripped by Libash. Yushir's right foot was ripped. Wow. And its ear was torn off. Oh. Now did you become lovers with a goblin? Or was that somebody with a goblin name? Zim the Mountainous Hole was an object of worship. It was a former spouse. Squirmed Poisons is the last name. Stopped being a fish dissector after fighting in several wars and in Flygift, and then got divorced from Squirmed Poisons. Got married in the year 40 and 13 years later got divorced. Libash fought in the monstrous onslaught in the assault on Obeyed Whipped. Libash struck down Tosid Mine Autumn in Obeyed Whipped and was murdered by the elf Dissa Glitters Snew in Flygift. Okay, so I think I need... Okay. I want to start a new or grab my blank document here and document this person's story. I'm just going to screenshot the whole thing because I think it's one of those ones that's interesting enough that I think it's worth reading. At least I thought that one was interesting. I don't know about you guys, chat, but... Certainly had a lot of children, so it must have been another dwarf. Just with a goblin name. Related and former member of the Granite Urn. Ardent Hatred, Nightmare of Dirt. All right, former spouse. Squirmed Poisons. Yeah, it was a male dwarf. Nagazbos Nagazbo Squirmed Poison was a dwarf born in 18. He was the eldest son of Kulet Cuss Caves and Irel Lattersalve. Okay, so was just born in a goblin's pit, in a goblin pits. Okay. Was struck down by a rock. Yeah, but I'm always curious about people with names from other factions. Also, these dwarves don't live very long. I like this. Mother of this dwarf was born in the year 3 and died in 83. And the father was born in the year 3 and died in the year 19. So this dwarf was born in the year 18. And dad died a year later. I know that they can become, interspecies can become friends, but relationships, no. I like how, never mind. I was going to say that, I wonder, if his wife didn't like the fact that he went and became the tavern keeper. Yeah, but it's means, to me, it means it's worth looking up. You think murder being legal makes living difficult? Yeah, it does. You'd think. I mean, most of this person's children died within a few years. I mean, he died in 62, right? Former spouse also died in 62. Youngest daughter died in 204. Damn, actually. Nako spoken cruel. Okay, some of his kids lived a while. His second eldest daughter lived to 203, but his third eldest daughter didn't live very long. His youngest son didn't live long at all. His eldest son didn't live very long. His eldest daughter didn't live very long. I wonder who Spoken Cruel was. She was the youngest daughter of Libesh Trumpet Thunder and Nagazbo Squirmed Poison. Was abducted from Flygift by an elf. Oh, damn. Well, that's why you lived for a while, maybe. Never mind, actually. Was abducted from Flygift by the elf Elsa Autumn Clobbered. Autumn Clobbered, okay. And Naka was imprisoned by the evil of swallowing and settled in monstrous blankets. So cozy and monstrous. Can I get some crypt comfies in the chat? That's such a good name. Nako became a member of the Evil of Swallowing. And Nako became the Butcher in Monstrous Blankets. Page Elbow and Nako became lovers, and had found another lover a year later. Gave up being a butcher to be a poet in Monstrous Blankets. Nako became an apprenticeship under the goblin Astruck Ulcer Plagues. Seems like a lovely fellow. Nako moved to study in Curse Step in order to be with Master. Page Elbow, and Nako broke up. I'm assuming they were still seeing their other lover, Mestos, Torch Spiral. And then fought in the monstrous siege and the assault of Obeyed Whipped. Okay, now I need to know what happened in Obeyed Whipped. I'm seeing that name a lot. And then Nako married. Okay, there you go. Nako got married in 78, and in the late autumn of 81 became a member of the Disloyal Comedy and died of old age in 204. That's like... Huh. That's impressive. Living a full, long life as a dwarf in a goblin civ? I'm assuming that's a goblin civ. Also, the Disloyal Comedy. Oops, backed out too far. My bad. I need to look up the disloyal comedy. Because who doesn't like a little bit of disloyal comedy? I mean, loyal comedy is like boring as heck. Also, I'm sharing another doc. Disloyal comedy. It was a performance troupe. Okay, from the Enchanted Planets. A bunch of elves and goblins and dwarves are part of it. Damn, that's kind of a really big performance group. Just Legends stuff. If you go to the Legends section of the Dayfort stock, I'm reading stuff and adding stuff to it. So these are all the stories I've added today. But I haven't even started the Dayfort yet, so not much. Although I don't really know what the theme's going to be. I kind of want to see if I can reclaim the fortress from last week. Or one of my previous forts. Maybe reclaim the bridge fort and do some more work on the... Actually, that could be fun. Do you guys want to go back to Archroads? I kind of want to go back to Archroads, actually. Can you do the religious capital fort? I mean, possibly. I just one vote last week. I mean, we could do either. I kind of want to re-embark on a previous fort. I don't know, but it depends on what people want to see, really. I wonder how Archroads has been doing since we left, actually. Lots of animals have been dying of old age. Lots of animals and dwarves have been settling here. The artificial jump at the brilliant saber and the settlement of Archroads regained their senses after an initial period of questionable judgment. Strange. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, it looks like just a lot of people have settled. Did all the Spartan Dwarf arrive? I think 3 made it out. I expelled one who wasn't named, and then Wormbow and Redbeard made it out. Wormbow is now living at Fortress Urn and is a diplomat. And Redbeard is living there and is still a child. Oh, also, I'm not actively looking at Discord. I only just glanced at Discord on my phone. And because of that, I'm missing the stuff that you're posting, Vin. Just a heads up. So if you want me to see the stuff that you're posting, mention it in chat. Unless you're specifically trying to hide it from me, in which case then, cool. Forgot she died in drown pits. Sorry. Sorry about that. A horse settled in Archroads. Yeah, just it seems like Archroads has been pretty chill since we left Archroads. What else is worth looking into? I wonder what happened to how Heartrags is doing. Yeah, just a bunch of people were expelled. And then since we've left, 1, 2, 3, 4 dwarves have settled in Heartrags. A mule, 2 mules, a yak, and a yak. So basically, since we've left Heartrags, a few dwarves have settled there, but it's still very, very, very small population-wise. At least our 2 dwarves are still living in Heartrags, which is nice. Tongs Blushed was one of the dwarves. That's cute. They got married. I wonder if I check back in with them in a couple of years, if they will have kids. This dwarf had a lover, but Ubil Bridge Urges, who's the other dwarf. Okay, gotcha. When we left them as a failed fort, when we had the entrance over the ocean. I didn't leave them as a failed fort. I just retired it. Drowned Pits? Was that the one? No, Drowned Pits was the one that we died early. Trying to remember the name of it. I'm getting better at this over time. The whole like naming things. Drowned Pits yeah, was where we were attacked by undead. Hold on, I've got a way of figuring this out. What? Rock Fountains of Salt. Ocean Swamps, that was it. The Brilliant Saber founded Ocean Swamps. Yes, this one. Yeah, they seem to be doing just fine. Bunch of ducks and cats have died of old age, but aside from that, nothing particularly exciting. Although an alpaca starved to death in Ocean Swamps. You get confused when naming scheme jumps between dwarven names and their translations. Yeah, it can be a little tricky to follow sometimes. It certainly can be a little bit tricky to follow. Yeah, it looks like Ocean Swamps is just chilling. All right. Yeah, I think that should be good for Legends. Unless there's anything else that you guys immediately want me to look up. But I got a couple stories into the Legends portion of the doc. And I think I'm going to quickly go use the toilet. I will be back in a minute or so. And then we'll get started. and figure out what we're going to do. I think I'm going to reclaim Arch Roads, but I'll be back. All right. I'm going to put a marker in the chat so I remember this. Now we figure out what we're doing. But before I do anything else, I just have to say a real quick thank you to everybody who has a little skull next to your name, and everybody who has access to the sound commands, and everybody who supports me directly. Thanks for allowing me to do this full time. As I was kind of stating earlier, January is always a rough month for streamers. So thanks to those of you who watch the YouTube videos and everybody who hangs around. I need to remove